6:30, so I'll call the Monday, August 12th work session of the mayor and Mayor Pro Tem and council to order. Thank you, sir.
We will publicly correct you if you call yourself the mayor.
Trust me, I'm not going to. I'm not going to. I'm feeling more and more less likely to want that title. I like having the extra letters. Since my name's so short, having Mayor Pro Tem is so much better because it's got tons of letters. All right, so we're going to review the business meeting and public hearing agendas. So everyone will turn the page, whatever that is. We've got the call to order. I think I know how to do that. I won't need much help. Bobby Howard has agreed to do the invitation. Do I have a volunteer to do the pledge to the flag? Norman Carter. I guess I should write this down so I know who to call on. Because, you know, I will forget.
Will that begin?
What?
Aye.
Continue. It continues.
Yeah, just say aye.
That's all you
see.
All you have to say is
And
aye.
everybody
As soon as you say aye,
That
was mean. I'm not going to do that.
Under ceremonial matters, we have nothing. The minutes, we're going to need someone to make a motion to approve the minutes of both the July 22nd specially called meeting and the July 22nd public hearing and regular meeting agenda for business agenda. Anybody have any changes, updates, questions about the meetings? Because Melissa's right here.
The past meetings, you mean?
Yeah, yeah. And we have no invited guests. Barbara didn't trust me with any of that. No committee and department reports unless David's here for a reason, you know. You're good? All right. Approval of the agenda. I heard a rumor that we are going to have in addition. Do we want to talk about that now? We'll talk about that later. Under public hearing, we have the first read of change in conditions 2401 for the application by John Gaskin of Patrick Malloy Communities, which I think everybody's familiar with the development out in Summit Chase. So we need a motion to waive the first reading. Then another waiver of the first reading for changing condition 2402 from the same folks.
Tennis court versus field goal.
There you go.
What did you say?
One is the tennis court, one is the master one, because they were brought in under different zoning,
That's
under
right.
different
Okay.
codes, remember, because we jumped up.
So number one is the tennis court? I bet number two is.
Whatever the biggest.
Well, it doesn't
thing
matter.
is.
Just don't say tennis court. And
B is Maine. We'll call it Maine. And
B is the,
yeah,
okay.
because it's got the 75-acre tract. A is the one that comes Johnson.
Yeah, because B is a 257 lot.
Correct.
Yeah, that makes it pretty easy to figure out. Don't have anything currently under the consent agenda, and we have no old business. Under new business, we have the second reading of the stormwater, update of the stormwater ordinance 2024-08. Hopefully we'll be able to adopt that.
That's not.
Hmm?
That's not the right.
The
That's
letter
not-
B.
Oh,
Letter
what's
B is
that?
your stormwater.
Oh, so I should actually read these things?
Letter A is the
No.
inconsistencies and fees.
Okay, well,
Not
the-
just a minor point.
2408, consideration action on ordinance to amend portions of chapter 62 of the Code of Ordinances deals with how we set our fee structure for stormwater. Pardon me for, am I correct? That's right. Okay. And then the next thing, it will be consideration and action on adopting our updated stormwater utility fee. So one is changing the ordinance. So that way we no longer have our Well, right, well, there's that, but we don't have our rate set in the ordinance, which makes it easier to amend and more efficient. It'll save us a ton on legal fees going forward.
We need that.
Item C is consideration and action on surplus of city vehicles. So we're sending.
When did we ever
How did
have
we get a Jetta?
Yeah, that was my question. When we ever owned a Volkswagen Jetta?
C car?
Yeah.
Is it any good?
It's actually a decent car.
It's an undercover car. You can buy a lot of dope in Jetta.
I'll take your word for that, city attorney.
We had to wrap it though, because it was orange before, so we wrapped it.
Really? Wow. Okay, so we'll need a motion and a second to do that. And council reports and mayor pro tem reports. Do we miss anything? Anybody have anything to add to any of that? If not, we have a work session agenda which consists of an update on ongoing projects. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. Do we have any correspondence to review, anybody? No? Do we have a city attorney's report? We do.
We do.
How exciting.
We have lots of exciting news.
Let's hear it.
So first of all, we are going to be closing on August the 23rd on the BB&T Bank Building, which has been a long process in getting across. We've already closed on the gas station, so now we'll have the contiguous properties there. And speaking of the gas station, you may have noticed that they have been removing the gas tanks and the pumps, which was part of our negotiation with the seller. So that is being done at their expense. And so we will have that capped back with concrete when it's all done. So even though we're putting fresh concrete down over it, it will, until we decide what we're going to do there, it'll be a safe location there.
Are we spending?
We are not. This
Okay.
is part of the.
They're spending the money
they
for
are.
concrete. Yay, I love it.
And then as far as what I can discuss, we received, I believe it was Thursday, notification from the Superior Court that Judge Davis had denied the city's motion to dismiss in response to the lawsuit, the appeal, I should say, it's a lawsuit, the appeal of the upholding of the city manager's decision not to allow one of the parties into the lottery. We then, on Friday morning, petitioned the court for what's called a 10-day letter, but we asked the court to allow us to appeal now rather than waiting until the whole case is over and then appealing. And interesting, within about an hour or two of filing that, a judge granted our motion, which now we have 10 days from Friday to send a note to the Court of Appeals that we want to appeal the judge's decision, and then the other side gets 10 days to respond to say that they shouldn't hear our case, and then the Court of Appeals has 75 days to decide whether or not they are going to hear our case. Then if they decide they're going to hear the appeal, then we get to file our appeal, then the other side gets to file the appeal, and then it gets argued. So that is where everything is at this point in time.
Wow.
So it's been very busy in the city attorney's office.
Thanks for that. And then
It's not ka-ching either.
do you have anything else to do?
Not, other than I would like to have an executive session. Thank you, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem.
Okay, so at the conclusion of our update, we'll go into executive session.
Thanks. So just referring to the city projects update sheet that I gave you, the town center. This was announced a few weeks ago, but we have a signed lease now with the can, and the interior design work has begun with Placemaker, so we're excited about that. We're looking at some economies of scale and talking with Casto and Mid-City right now about the possibility of building out the interior of both spaces at the same time, of the second floor, which would be the event center, and then Cricket Can occupying the first floor, and kind of having those done in tandem. Our only concern was we didn't want to slow down Cricket Can. We wanted them to go ahead and start building out, but if we can use the same architect and the same contractor to kind of do both, that would be ideal, so it opens all at one time. I'll keep you posted on how all that goes. The restaurants are moving. They've removed some of the construction fencing on Oak, so they've poured some concrete there around the buildings. They're hoping to turn those restaurants over to the operators so they can begin their interior build-out work in the next week or so. So they're moving along there, which is good. We've had some very active discussions with Mid-City and with Casto on some of the activation pieces for the Grove. Brian and Mercy especially have been working really hard with Kirk and those folks to kind of get, we've been so focused on building it that you never thought we got to kind of get people there, right? Then living there and walking there and activating the space is a big part of that. So I'll let Mercy kind of talk a little bit about some of the discussions that she's been having with Casto.
Yeah, we're really excited to share. There have been a couple of events over the summer that have had a musical performance. We've had King of Pops out there and food truck. So we spoke with Kirk and the team at Midcast Casto, and they're interested in helping support a series starting in August and going all the way through October. So we're branding that as our third Thursday event at the Grove, and the first one is this week. So hopefully folks have seen it on social media and are helping get the word out. And then we're also building out for the fourth Friday to have outdoor movie nights. Similar design, as long as the weather's good, invite people to come early and hang out in the splash pad. Start the movie at dusk, have Hacienda and a couple of other food trucks. Pops will be out there. So starting to get that cadence so that people think about the Grove as their extra backyard and the community space that they're coming to. And I know that Kirk has said they're interested in continuing that forward in the spring. Probably April to September-ish, I think is what we're looking at for next year. But obviously it's gonna look really different in 6 to 8 months as we open the doors of the restaurants. So very excited about that, and we'll continue to keep you posted and ask that you help us share it on social media once it hits the city Facebook page. I can go ahead and let everybody know we will have Hocus Pocus in October, which I have been assured that if we expect 75 people, we're going to get 125. One of the people we've been talking about rental said, yeah, you're not going to have 75 people, you're going to have 125 people. I've done this across the whole Southeast, and everybody loves that movie. So, yeah, it's exciting to think about what the space is going to be and what's coming. So we're excited about it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And just as she says, so this Thursday, the 15th, will be our first kind of in that series. So it'll be at 6 o'clock. There'll be music. A musician will be out there, King of Pop and Hacienda will be with food truck. So if you have an opportunity to stop by, please do.
4 tires.
All four tires are going to make it there. All 4 tires are going to make it
Yeah. They might want to bring a fit.
Yeah. Sidewalk improvement, so AT&T has begun their pole relocation on Pinehurst. So hopefully they'll be taking care of that. Once they've completed that and then co-located on the new poles, and those existing poles will be pulled up, and Backbone will be able to finish the sidewalk in those gaps there. That project will be complete. And then we'll just be kind of on some minor punch list and things like that. The county, as well as is in the punch list phase of their water line project. They've done a really good job there. They had a few hiccups here or there, but other than that, it was pretty smooth, I would say.
Okay.
Well, I didn't get a lot of phone calls, so I assume they handled most of the issues that they had down there. But they paved some roads for us as part of that project, if you recall, so Valley Creek Circle and so Patchdown, Chaparral, and Amber was really good.
Is the plan, do you know if the county is planning on paving Pinehurst once we have these couple of projects done? Because
there was talks about that, yes. In fact, they were, if I recall, we're talking about doing it before we said, hold on, we're going to do a sidewalk project,
right,
a water project here. And so Larry Kaiser has reminded them that we're done with our things and the county's finishing up there, so I think they are going to revisit that conversation.
If we could just follow up with them so we know we can get something out to the public, because that's going to be a mess, but it's very needed.
As far as city business cleanup, so we have hired a new code enforcement officer. I don't know if you all know Tori Fobb Moore. She's one of our court clerks. She's one of our new code enforcement officers. We're very excited to have her as part of that team. There'll be a little bit of kind of a transition from the court to code enforcement as we fill her role, so that it's not too much stress on Robin. And then we have Abby, who's our other court clerk, and she's brand new as well. So, but Melissa and Jason are working well on that transition, and we're very excited to have her. She'll be a great employee. She'll know the court side of things better than most other code enforcement officers, because she's been in our court for the last several years now. So
If you're not familiar with her, she has one of the biggest, most infectious smiles. So she will be very good at presenting issues to people in a very positive way. Not that our other members aren't, just I think she's going to be great.
she'll be very fit. Just as an FYI to everybody, GDOT has cut those two detention ponds on 124 and 78 there. We cut them late last week. The one that's by the old Waffle House right there, right at the intersection, and then one that's a little bit west if you're going out towards Stone Mountain to your right there. Both of those have been cut. So we appreciate them being as responsive as they have been on cutting those lately. They've hired some good folks over there that are a lot more responsive to our requests on things like that. Nothing new to report on anything with zoning guidelines, package sales. Chuck has given that update for everybody. Briscoe Park, so the old maintenance building, that demolition's been complete. They're seeding straw out there now, so hopefully that will come up. Some of that area will be impacted as the new community rec center kind of comes on board. Some of that will be parking and some other things there. So it was good. It was an interesting process. We hit a lot of water lines that we didn't know existed there. There was one that we hit, and we capped it and said, okay, this is great. And then it actually served some bathrooms. About 800 feet down towards the office, the admin office. And for the longest time, Lisa said, I don't know why the water pressure in these bathrooms is so bad. It's because of the 800-foot run. I mean, to travel so far for the faucets and the toilets and things like that. And so it was a little bit of an adventure for us to try to kind of happen upon some of this stuff that just over the years was installed, and there was no communication as to where you really can't locate PVC. I mean, it's just plastic. So you kind of know where it is, and you got markers, or you kind of stumble on it with a backhoe like we did, and flood a little bit of the location. But everything's been complete. The buildings are down. The two septic tanks that were serving those buildings have been removed and filled. So it's a lot different look there than it was. Those buildings were up. I just don't think I realized how big a space that really was there when it's not here. It's split quite a bit. GMC is continuing, as I've mentioned before. They mentioned this is kind of their time where they're really focused on the design documents to prepare for bid. They're working on some basic renderings of the buildings that we can share with you all. They get further along with those. We submitted our grant application to the county for some community development block grant funding, and awaiting word from them if we were able to receive any of that funding. So we'll keep you posted as that comes to light. North and Wisteria, so we're working on some design work to connect United Community Bank to the sewer line there. There's a septic system that serves them. Making some progress with some of these property owners on some right of way. We have a few more meetings with the engineering team on trying to get the sewer worked out the way it needs to be, and some documents drawn up for some folks to look at to approve an easement to their property to make that happen. Traffic calming, so that project is nearly complete. They just did some striping, all the striping for all 8 of the islands. And the last piece there will be some signage that will be there to let folks know that there's traffic calming out there. You need to be aware of those when they're driving on the road, and then that project will be complete. And then we'll just be monitoring them to see the impact on slowing traffic down. The few times that I've been out there, some folks it slows down, and very few will go as fast as they can.
There's a few that try.
Yeah, there's a few that will go as fast as they can to get to it. They'll slow down a little bit, but they'll be on the.
We were going down one day recently, and we were going around the right side of the island, and the guy behind us thought we were going too slow, so he went flying around the left side while we were going around the right side. There are folks that try to do them as fast as they can, but we can tell a difference just in the noise of the cars going up and down the street. They're just slower.
Yeah, the few times that I've been out there watching folks, yeah, I mean, the majority of folks are slowing down.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to have those few that take it as a challenge to see how fast they can get through it, or if they can go at the same speed. Now, I've not had a chance to see, some of our biggest offenders live out where school buses go pretty fast down that road. So I need to get out there and watch see the school buses are slowing down a little bit through those curves. But that's the end of the report. Thank you.
Had a couple of requests into the city manager this last week to get the steel plates on 78, there where DeVita Construction is taken care of. He contacted them and said that they should be taking care of the paving there this week. And so that's good news. And haven't seen any movement on the Department of Water in front, right in front of Zoe's Tacos. There's a wet spot and now a crack in the pavement. So we reported that, trying to make sure that we don't end up with a sinkhole or 78 shut down in the middle of Friday afternoon traffic or whatever. So hopefully we'll get those off the list. Jason, was there something we were gonna go over?
Not specifically.
Okay. All right, never mind. I met with Jason this morning about one of the delayed, the Main Street Townhome development. Went over some of the issues that I saw when Ms. Linsky and I made a site visit, and then I went back in the evening to see what the difference was between the utilization of parking and.
What's the Main Street townhome?
you mean
the one that
the
runs?
78 one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's.
Do I need
you can't
to
talk about it.
do I need to leave the room?
Oh, sorry, I'm done.
I just didn't know what you were talking.
And in having that conversation, since the Church on Main project has been, that was just informative to lead into this. Church on Main rezoning is coming up on the 26th, which is our next regularly scheduled meeting. So I'd like to meet with Jason this week I would prefer morning, I guess, to walk through it, get some input from council, and maybe even make a site visit over the property to make sure that we are prepared when it comes before us on the 26th. So if anybody, Jason said we can,
Whatever.
yeah.
Just let me know.
So I can have up to 2 other folks. So anybody want to be there?
I'd be interested in being there. but-
You could break into groups too, you could do too. Jason would have to stay, but.
True,
No
true.
worries, right.
But I know Carrie is time constrained too after.
I would like to do it, but I could do it in the morning on a Tuesday,
Do it. Okay.
Book it.
or an evening.
You want to do it tomorrow? Okay.
I do.
All right, so how do we want to do this? Just the 3 of you all meet tomorrow, or you want,
What time are you thinking about tomorrow?
that's true. We can meet.
I'm wide open in the morning.
He's wide open, so anywhere from 8 to 4, right? So whatever works for you.
I have
Carrie, what works best for you?
Either first thing in the morning or right at the end of the day, so I can work.
Okay, so what's first thing in the morning for you? 8.
Yeah, let's do it.
So let's meet at 8.
Okay.
And then I'll stay in, so whoever wants to be there at 8, be there at 8. Okay, and then Gretchen, if you'll come in at 9:30, you think that's, or 9? How long do
Oh,
you
well,
think it'll take?
if you wanna go over and come back.
Okay.
I mean,
Why don't we
I
make
give us
it-
an hour and a half and be good.
Okay.
Okay, I have an appointment at 11:15.
All right, Norman, you're coming in at 9:30.
Got it.
And you and I will have a great time.
So what,
So tomorrow morning at 8, you and Carrie, and I'll try to be there if I remember to wake up.
At 9:30 is the second shift?
Yes.
At the church already?
No, we're gonna meet here at Jason's office, and of course, Miss Linsky, whenever works for
Okay,
you.
why don't I just meet you guys somewhere over there at 9:30? Because if I won't really be able to walk anywhere, so just
Oh,
around.
that's true.
Kind of thing.
Well, we'll probably go over the plans upstairs and then
Okay.
travel.
Yeah,
over
Okay,
you
there.
can
gotcha.
drive over.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm not hoofing it over there.
Okay.
Um,
I didn't know what you had in mind. Just wanted to prepare.
Yeah, no, I meant, let's
Okay.
go over there in probably a vehicle. Who's got the nicest vehicle? Matt will drive us over, and you're not busy, are you, Matt? Okay, so that's great. We've got
8, and a little bit after that.
That way, hopefully, we'll have good direction for staff going forward into the 26th. And does anybody else have anything they want to discuss before we go into executive session? No? All right. That means I don't usually get to do this, so. Do I have to read all this stuff? And do we take the motion first?
I didn't check
They do
those.
Right, so, yeah, oh, there it is. All right.